Hey, it's 9 o'clock on a Thursday evening, and I really should be thinking about hopping to bed, but I'm making the Millionaire Shortbread. And I made a batch. I did well, 2/3 of it this morning, chocolated it this afternoon. And my husband's been into it all to get already. I think I've got chocolate on my lip. And I have to take some to a Christmas party on Saturday night, and I'm going to another party tomorrow lunchtime. And one of the girls there just loves it, so I want to make some for her. So I'm going to show you what I do. So I make little individual ones because I don't know about you, but I hate it when I have to cut something like a Millionaire Shortbread. So what I'm talking about is the shortbread, the caramel, and then the chocolate on top, and trying to cut it. And I know you can score it and do all that sort of stuff, but I still think it ends up really messy. Although, funny story, we had some friends of my son's here because he's been over from the US for a couple of weeks, which was really nice. But when that happens, we usually have his mates over and have a barbecue, and some of them got kids now, etc., etc. So anyway, so I made this chocolate caramel slice, and it's something that they all remember growing up and, you know, coming here in secondary school, etc., etc. And one of them said, I actually liked it the messy way better than this way I'm making it now. So that was interesting. And my son didn't even realize that I'd made these because, well, can't say they look professional, but they look a little bit tidier than the mess that I used to make, which they all loved and ate anyway. Anyway, let's get on with the cooking. So I am making this one. So it's the Millionaire Shortbread with a twist, and I will explain why in a minute. So I'm going to get the base going first, and I'm not putting the twist in. So my oven is heating. Now, this is where I differ from this. This says to have, you know, to do it in a pan, a thing that you can then cut up. So, oops, where'd they gone? So what I'm doing is individual ones in this in these mental blockage silicone things. Now I have greased them, and I probably don't need to, but I'm just really conscious of wanting them to come out properly, and I'll show you some finished ones at the end. So that's that. Okay, so now it's asking for 65 grams of granulated sugar. I'm using some raw sugar. I'm hoping you've got enough sugar for everything here. Okay. Now, often with Thermomix recipes, I do cut down on the sugar, but I don't with this one, just because, well, particularly when it comes to the caramel. I think it's really important that you stick to the right one. Measuring cup on. So we're going to actually turn it into caster sugar. Then I'll show you what this looks like. Put a little tap on top there. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Then it says 150 grams of plain flour, and then it's 65 grams of semolina. Well, I want this to be gluten-free, so I'm actually going to just go 200 grams of plain flour. So I'm going to get my plain flour out. I have Yoki Madui's plain flour, which is gluten-free. So she's wild sourdough, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be roughly, remember I'm going for about 200 grams. There we go, that'll do. So there's a heaped cup. I'm just going to close up this bag because I don't need any moths or anything getting into it. It's a huge bag. Okay, that is done. All right. Semolina we're not doing. 150 grams. Why did I think it was 120? Anyway, let's go see what this is. Yeah, I thought it was 120. So maybe it's 120 for the other. Let's pop a bit more of this in. Let's cut some more up in a minute. Okay. Popping this into the mixing bowl. 30 seconds on speed 4. And I can hear it's starting to clump together, which is really good. So in the recipe, it says transfer into your tin, which, yeah, love it. So there we are. There's my mixture. I'm just going to put the glider board underneath my thermix. I'm just going to push that out the way, pull this here, and angle this down so you can see what I'm doing next. So I'm just going to get little blobs, basically, of pastry and put them in. And you're going to have to watch me do them all because I want to bake this. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't matter. Because I'm not going to be able to put the topping on. So I'll just do one tray here. So I'm literally putting blobs in each hole. And I've got this awesome tool that I got from the mix shop, which I only just tried this morning when I was making this slice. I'll show you in just a minute. I can't remember what it's called, but this thing here. So with this, you can use it to push down into the mold. So what I did this morning, I used it. Actually, that's looking pretty good. So you just want to make sure that, you know, you can always use your finger a little bit as well, but it's doing the majority of the work for me, which I really love. Pushing it down there. Just making sure that it's covering the whole bottom. There we go. All right. So I'll do the same thing with the other in a minute, but that looks pretty good and it's very easy. But what we're going to do, luckily I have 2 bowls. So we're going to go on and get the caramel started. I tend to reuse lids if I can, rather than having a new one. Bring this forwards again. And what I've got to do, when I've finished off that other one, I'm going to bake that for 20 to 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was 20 minutes or slightly less because they're individual rather than the whole thing. Okay, meanwhile, wash and dry a mixing bowl. Got a clean bowl on here. 120 grams of granulated sugar. Okay, 120 grams of unsalted butter. I obviously got my butters mixed up the wrong way. Okay, awesome. 370 grams of condensed milk. So it is the sweetened condensed milk. So I'm just going to tip that in there. Give it a good scrape around. I actually think they're pretty good. Whenever I've made this, I've certainly got plenty, you know, it's certainly come up to the weight. You know, I used to love licking these out, and really now, it's not quite such a good thing. All right, so we've got that. It's milk. And then 80 grams of golden syrup. So there is a recipe on Cookie Dough to make your own. Here we go. I'll do. Then all we're going to do is pop the simmering basket on top. And that's going to cook for 35 minutes on speed 2. Okay. Now it does so you can test it with temperature probe, which I have never done, and it's always been fine. So I've now got some of this. All right, so what I want to do is I will show you the finished product in a minute, but I just want to share my screen and show you something on Cookie Dough. Okay, so this is the salted caramel slice. And the reason that I do the Millionaire Shortbread, I don't do the twist, and I'll show you what the twist is in a minute, is because the salted caramel slice, actually similar sort of quantities of actually it's a bit sweeter. That one's got coconut in it as well, which you could certainly do. But look at this, it's 2 tins of condensed milk. And I think I had a customer who made it, and she said, look, honestly, it wasn't as dark and as caramelly as the other one. So I'm going to go back into Explore, and I'm going to put Millionaires. Okay, I've got 3 recipes that come up. So this is the one I'm making with the twist, and that is actually popping macadamia nuts on. So here with your caramel, you scatter your hazelnuts over the hazelnuts over the shortbread base. Actually, does sound very nice. Pour caramel over the top, spreading it out evenly, leave to cool and set. And then, so we've got the caramel going at the moment, and that's going to take a little while. But when it's set, you're going to make sure you have a super dry bowl. If you're unsure about a super dry bowl, wash it, dry it, turbo it, remembering you have to get out of turbo to release the lid. Dry it, turbo it, dry it. And I find that is the really good way, because you've got to have a super dry bowl for anything to do with chocolate. Otherwise, you're just going to ruin your chocolate. So you're going to then put the chocolate over the top of the caramel layer, and there you go. So it's a really delicious, slightly naughty. Don't look at the calorific content. This one I should try at some point in time, but this one, I think this was in the winter magazine. And there's some tamarind, coconut sugar and tamarind paste. Actually, it's quite different. Look at this, 395 grams of condensed milk. That's only a tiny bit of sugar, tamarind and unsalted butter. So I would love to try that at some point in time. And the topping is still chocolate and a bit of butter. Okay. And the other thing that came up under Millionaires is this, which I don't know what that is. So we'll have a quick look. So again, you've got a pastry. Your filling is chocolate eggs, golden syrup, caramel sauce. Okay, tin caramel sauce. So that would be like a tin of, you can get with your condensed milk. You can buy like caramel condensed milk, or like already done. I remember us doing this years ago, probably when my kids were little, and you would boil up the caramel in the saucepan for a certain length of time. Sorry, the condensed milk would turn it into caramel, but now you can just buy it in a can. Hold there for a second. You can look at, see what's happening here. That's going to tell us how long it's got to go. I'm just going to get a finished example for you. So anybody who knows me knows I'm not a perfectionist, but I actually think these look pretty good. How about that? You could serve that up, and yeah, it's so easy to pop it out of the silicone, and it's really easy to pick up and eat. There's no messing around. So I find those silicone mini muffin pans are awesome. So the other things I've made in there is the Seriously Lemony Slice, against little individual ones. The Rocky Road Slice. I think there was something else I made as well. But you think about anything that is a bit slicey that you don't want to slice and you want to make it individual portions. Use your silicone molds. I mean, they are just awesome. So that is a little bit of a taste of making the Millionaire Shortbread, but unfortunately you can't taste it, but I can, and I had one earlier, and they're very, very yummy. Good thing for, just finger dessert stuff. The party we're going to on Saturday night, someone's taking a PAV, and my friend who's hosting said, it's really annoying because I've got to get out plates and, have cutlery, etc., whereas this is just pick up, and yeah, you might need to lick your fingers, but that's all right. Anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration, something to try. And I'd love to know, if you do give it a go, which way you do it. If you do it in a slab and cut it up, or if you do it like I've done and do it in individual portions. Okay, enjoy.